Nobody expects a superstar to blend into the crowd, but that's exactly what he did. Picture this, a packed afternoon at JFK Airport, New York City, travelers rushing through terminals, dragging suitcases, some shouting, some exhausted. Amid the chaos, one man sits quietly in the first-class lounge for Flight 512 to Atlanta. He's dressed in a plain gray hoodie, faded jeans, and scuffed sneakers. No flashy watch, no designer bag, just a small backpack at his feet. His face is half hidden under a baseball cap, but if you look at closely, you'd know him. It's Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah, the Leonardo DiCaprio, Oscar winner, heartthrob, global icon. But today, he's not on a red carpet. He's just Leo, trying to fly under the radar. Why is he hiding? That's the question burning in your mind, right? Leo's been off the grid for months, dodging paparazzi after a rough year. Burned out from fame, he's traveling incognito, craving a moment of normalcy. He sips a coffee, scrolls his phone, and watches the world buzz around him. The lounge is full of suits, businessmen, influencers, the usual first-class crowd. A few glance at him, squinting, but nobody clocks him. He likes it that way. His ticket says Seat 1A, first class, but he's not here to flex. He just wants to get to Atlanta, no drama. Then comes the boarding call. First-class passengers for Flight 512, please head to Gate 20. Leo grabs his backpack and joins the line. That's when trouble starts. The gate agent, a woman with sharp eyeliner and a tight smile, name tag says Karen, scans the ticket of a guy in a slick suit ahead of Leo. "Welcome aboard, sir," she chirps, all charm. Then Leo steps up, hands her his ticket. Her smile vanishes. She looks at him, hoodie, sneakers, no luggage, and her eyes narrow. Sir, this is first class," she says like he's wandered into the wrong universe. Leo nods, calm as ever. "I know. That's my ticket." Karen stares at the ticket, then back at him. Her lips purse. "This doesn't add up," she mutters, loud enough for the line to hear. "You sure this is yours?" The guy behind Leo, some Wall Street type, shifts impatiently. A woman with a toddler glances over, curious. Karen's voice gets sharper. "Look, sir, economy's that way. Let's not hold up the line." Leo doesn't flinch. He just hands her the ticket again, his voice low but steady. "Seat 1A, it's mine." The scanner beeps green. Valid. Karen's face twists like she's bitten a lemon. "This has to be a mistake," she says, almost to herself. "People like you don't sit in first class." The air gets heavy. A few passengers gasp. Someone pulls out a phone, starts recording. Leo's still calm, but you can see it in his eyes, something deep, like he's been here before. Karen leans in, her voice dripping with venom. "Step aside, sir. We'll sort this out, but you're not boarding with that ticket." The crowd's watching now, and the tension's thick enough to choke on. What's Leo gonna do? And why is Karen so sure he doesn't belong? Hey, what would you do if someone judged you like that, right in front of everyone? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear. The gate at JFK is a pressure cooker now. Karen, the gate agent, stands there, clutching Leo's ticket like it's a forged check. Her face is all tight lips and flared nostrils, staring down Leonardo DiCaprio, though she doesn't know it's him. To her, he's just some guy in a hoodie who doesn't fit in first class. The scanner's green light blinks, mocking her, but she's not backing down. "Sir, I'm gonna need to see some ID," she snaps, loud enough for the whole terminal to hear. Passengers in line shift, some craning their necks, others whispering. A teenage girl a few spots back is still filming, her phone steady. Leo sighs, not out of anger, but like he's tired of this dance. He pulls out his wallet, plain, leather, no monogram, and hands over his driver's license. Karen snatches it, squinting at the name. Leonardo W. DiCaprio. Her eyes flick up, then back to the ID, then up again. For a split second, you can see her brain glitch. She knows that name. Everybody does. But the hoodie, the sneakers, the lack of entourage, it doesn't compute. This can't be right," she stammers, her voice losing its edge. Leo just shrugs, calm as a summer lake. "It's me. Can I board now?" The crowd's buzzing. The Wall Street guy behind Leo mutters, "What's her deal?" The mom with the toddler looks uncomfortable, clutching her kid closer. Karen's not done, though. She straightens up, doubling down. "Look, I don't care what this says," she says, waving the ID. "You don't look like you belong in first class. We've got standards." The word standards lands like a slap. A gasp ripples through the line. The teenage girl filming zooms in, catching every word. Leo's eyes narrow, just a fraction, but he stays cool. "I paid for my seat," he says, voice low, steady. "Same as everyone else." Karen scoffs, tossing his ID back like it's trash. "Yeah, well, maybe you got lucky with some points or something. Doesn't mean you belong here." By now, a second agent, a younger guy with glasses, name tag says Mike, steps over, looking nervous. "Karen, what's going on?" he asks, glancing at the growing crowd. She leans in, not even whispering. "This guy's trying to sneak into first class. Look at him. Does he scream seat 1A to you?" Mike takes the ticket, scans it again. Green light, same as before. "It's valid," he says quietly, handing it back to Leo. Karen's face goes red. "Valid or not, I'm not letting him waltz in there." The tension's suffocating. Passengers are outright staring now, some shaking their heads, others pulling out their phones. Leo steps aside to let an elderly couple pass, their eyes full of sympathy. He turns back to Karen, his voice still soft but firm. "I'm not here to fight. I just want my seat." Karen folds her arms, smirking. "Oh, you'll get a seat all right, back in economy, where you belong." Mike looks horrified. "Karen, come on, the ticket's good. Let him through." She snaps at him. "You want to get fired over this? Stay out of it." Leo stands there unshaken, but you can feel the weight on him. It's not just about a seat. It's about being judged, sized up, and thrown out before he even gets a chance to prove who he is. And here's the kicker. He could flash his fame, shut this down in seconds. But he doesn't. Why? That's what keeps you glued, wondering what's driving this man to stay so calm when the world's screaming at him to fight back. What would you do if you were Leo, standing there with everyone watching? Ever been judged for how you look? Tell me in the comments. I'm curious. The gate at JFK feels like a stage, and Leonardo DiCaprio's caught in the spotlight. Karen, the gate agent, is digging in her heels, her arms crossed, her smirk sharp as a blade. She's just told Leo he belongs in economy, not first class, despite his valid ticket for seat 1A. The crowd's thick now, passengers, airport staff, even a security guard hovering nearby. Phones are out, recording every second. The air's electric, like a storm's about to break. Leo stands there, his gray hoodie and scuffed sneakers making him look like any other traveler. But his calm is something else. It's not just patience, it's power, the kind that doesn't need to shout. Karen's not fazed. "You're holding up the line," she says, her voice slicing through the murmurs. "Step aside or I'll call security." The teenage girl filming gasps, her phone shaking. Mike, the younger agent, looks like he's about to puke. "Karen, the ticket's legit," he pleads, almost whispering. "Let's just move on." Karen shoots him a glare that could melt steel. "Move on? This guy's playing us. Look at him. No suitcase, no class. He's not first-class material." The words sting, and you can see it in the way the elderly couple nearby flinches, the way the mom with the toddler tightens her grip. Leo doesn't budge. He looks at Karen, his eyes steady, like he's seeing right through her. "I don't need to prove anything to you," he says, soft but clear. "My ticket does that." The crowd leans in, hanging on his words. Karen laughs, but it's brittle, like she's starting to crack. "Oh, please. You think you can just walk in here looking like that and sit with the big shots? This is Flight 512 to Atlanta, not a charity ride." A man in a suit, let's call him Tom, mid-50s, silver hair, Rolex glinting, steps forward from the line. He's been watching, quiet until now. "Excuse me," he says, his voice deep, commanding. "Why are you treating this man like he's a criminal?" Karen blinks, caught off guard. "Jahine, sir, this doesn't concern you," she snaps, but her confidence is wobbling. Tom doesn't back down. "It does when I'm watching someone get humiliated for no reason. He's got a ticket. Let him board." The crowd murmurs in agreement. Someone claps. The teenage girl zooms in on Tom, then back to Leo. Karen's face flushes, but she's not giving up. Fine, she hisses, stepping aside. Go ahead, take your precious seat, but don't expect special treatment. She practically spits the words, handing Leo his ticket like it's contaminated. Leo nods, slings his backpack over his shoulder, and walks toward the jet bridge. The crowd parts, some whispering, others staring in awe. He's not just a guy in a hoodie anymore. He's a mystery, a quiet force that's got everyone wondering. Who is this man? And why is he taking this heat without fighting back? As he disappears into the tunnel, Karen mutters under her breath, he'll be sorry when they see him in first class. Mike overhears, shaking his head. You're making a mistake, Karen, he says, but she waves him off, already turning to the next passenger. Inside the plane, the first-class cabin is all soft lighting and leather seats, smelling of coffee and money. Leo settles into 1A by the window, his backpack stowed above. He pulls out a small notebook, not a phone, not a tablet, just a beat-up notebook, and starts writing. His face is calm, but his eyes are deep, like they're carrying a story nobody knows. Across the aisle, Tom, the guy from the line, takes his seat, 2B. He glances at Leo, nods slightly like they share a secret. The cabin's filling up. Business types, an older woman with pearls, a young influencer snapping selfies. Then Karen boards, her smile back on, but it's fake, like plastic. She's serving drinks, charming everyone, except Leo. When she passes his seat, her eyes slide right over him, like he's invisible. The plane's engines hum, ready for takeoff. Leo looks out the window, the New York skyline fading into dusk. He's not just flying to Atlanta, he's carrying something heavier, something that's about to shake this cabin to its core. And Karen, she's got no idea what's coming. Ever been ignored or judged like you didn't belong? What did it feel like? Share your story in the comments. I'm reading every one. The first-class cabin of Flight 512 is quiet, but it's the kind of quiet that feels like a held breath. Leonardo DiCaprio sits in seat 1A, staring out at the darkening sky as the plane climbs above New York. His notebook's open on his tray table, a few lines scratched in pen, but he's not writing now. He's just there, like a man carrying a weight nobody else can see. The other passengers steal glances, some curious, some suspicious, but most just wondering why he's so calm after that showdown at the gate. Karen, the flight attendant now working the cabin, moves like she owns the place, handing out drinks with a smile that doesn't reach her eyes. But when she gets to Leo, it's like he's a ghost. She stops at 1B, right next to him, where the older woman with pearls, let's call her Margaret, sits. Champagne, ma'am, Karen asks, all sugar. Margaret smiles, takes the glass and says, thank you, dear. Then Karen turns to Leo, her face hardening. And you? She asks, voice flat, like she's doing him a favor by acknowledging him. Leo looks up, his eyes gentle but unyielding. Just water, please, he says. Karen rolls her eyes, not even trying to hide it. Still or sparkling? She snaps. Still's fine, Leo replies, same calm tone. She grabs a bottle from her cart, drops it on his tray without a napkin, and moves on. The bottle wobbles, nearly falls. Leo catches it, sets it right, and takes a sip, unfazed. Margaret notices. Her pearls shift as she leans toward Leo, her voice low. That was rude, she whispers. You all right? Leo gives her a small smile, the kind that says he's been through worse. I'm fine, ma'am. Thank you. Across the aisle, Tom, the silver-haired guy from the gate, is watching too. His jaw tightens. He's seen a lot in his years. Boardrooms, deals, power plays. But this is something else. Karen's not just being cold. She's making a point, and it's ugly. The cabin hums along, the soft clink of glasses mixing with the engine's drone. Karen comes back with hot towels, handing them out like she's serving royalty, except when she gets to Leo. She skips him entirely, moving to the next row without a glance. Margaret's eyes widen. Did she just... She mutters, shaking her head. Tom leans forward, his voice low but firm. Miss, he calls to Karen, who's halfway down the aisle. She turns, fake smile plastered on. Yes, sir. Tom points to Leo. You forgot his towel. Karen's smile twitches. Oh, my mistake, she says, but doesn't move. Instead, she keeps going, serving the influencer in 3C who's too busy posting to notice. The vibe in first class is shifting. Passengers are whispering, some uncomfortable, others angry. The teenage girl from the gate, now in economy but close enough to peek through the curtain, is still filming, catching Karen's every move. Mike, the younger attendant, hovers near the galley, looking like he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. He catches Leo's eye, mouths a quick, sorry, but Leo just nods, like it's not Mike's fault. And it isn't. This is all Karen, and she's not slowing down. Then comes the meal service. Fancy trays land in front of everyone. Roasted chicken, creamy risotto, little salads with edible flowers. Karen sets Margaret's down gently, then Tom's, chatting them up like they're old friends. When she gets to Leo, she practically tosses the tray onto his table. Here, she says, no warmth, no nothing. The tray slides, almost knocking over his water. Leo steadies it, looks at the food, and nods. Thank you, he says, even though she doesn't deserve it. Karen scoffs, barely audible, and walks away. Tom's had enough. He leans toward Karen as she passes. Excuse me, he says, his voice sharp now. Why are you treating this man like he's beneath you? The cabin goes dead quiet. Karen freezes, her face flushing red. Sir, I'm just doing my job, she says, but it's weak, defensive. Tom shakes his head. No, you're not. You're embarrassing yourself. And this airline. Margaret chimes in, her voice soft but firm. He's done nothing wrong. Leave him be. A few passengers nod, and someone in the back claps, sharp and loud. Karen's eyes dart around, realizing she's losing the room. Leo, though, he's still calm, staring at his tray like it's just another day. But you can feel it, the storm brewing inside him, not anger, but something deeper, something that's about to change everything. He's not just a guy in a hoodie anymore. He's Leonardo DiCaprio, and the world's about to remember why he's a legend. Has anyone ever treated you like you were less than them, just because of how you looked? Drop your story in the comments. It's safe to share here. The first-class cabin of Flight 512 is a pressure cooker, cruising high above Georgia. Leonardo DiCaprio sits in 1A, calm but heavy, his hoodie hiding the star he is. Karen, the flight attendant, just got called out by Tom, the businessman, for treating Leo like dirt. Her face is red, her smile gone. Passengers whisper, phones out, filming. Margaret, the older woman in 1B, leans toward Leo, eyes wet. You don't deserve this, she says. Leo nods, his smile faint. I'm okay, ma'am. Karen's unraveling, slamming Leo's tray as she clears meals. Careful, Margaret snaps. Karen ignores her, but her hands shake. Mike, the younger attendant, pleads, Karen, stop. She hisses, he doesn't belong here. Leo looks at her, his voice steady. I belong because I'm human, same as you. The words hit hard. Margaret tears up, Tom nods, and the influencer in 3C films it all. Karen's losing the room, but she snarls, You're just a guy in a hoodie. Tom stands. Apologize. Now. Karen laughs, nervous. For what? Standards? Mike warns, You're on camera, Karen. Stop. Leo stays calm, staring out at the night. He's not fighting. He doesn't need to. The plane's descending into Atlanta, and something big's coming. Ever been judged like Leo was? What happened? Share in the comments. Flight 512's about to land in Atlanta, and the first-class cabin's tense. Leonardo DiCaprio's words, I belong because I'm human, still echo. Karen's crumbling, her prejudice exposed. Tom and Margaret just called her out, and phones are rolling, videos going viral. She snaps, I don't owe him anything, but it's weak. Margaret stands, tears streaming. You owe him respect, she says. Leo speaks again, soft but piercing. You saw a hoodie, not a person. Karen's lips quiver. You don't belong, she whispers, one last jab. The captain announces, we're landing in Atlanta. Passengers buckle up, but eyes stay on Leo. He tucks his notebook away, calm as ever. Outside, a black SUV and red carpet wait on the tarmac. Passengers murmur, a VIP? Mike whispers to Leo, they know who you are, sir. Leo nods, standing. Karen sees the SUV, her face paling. She knows she's messed up big. Leo pauses at the exit, turning back. Respect's about who you choose to be, he says. He steps out, leaving Karen sobbing in a seat. The truth's about to hit. What would you tell Karen or Leo right now? Drop it in the comments. Flight 512's landed in Atlanta, and Leonardo DiCaprio's exit leaves the cabin stunned. His words, respect's about who you choose to be, burn in everyone's minds. Karen's sobbing, realizing she didn't just judge a guy in a hoodie, she judged Leonardo DiCaprio, global icon. Mike shows her a news alert. Leo mistreated on flight, stays classy. She chokes, I didn't know. Mike shakes his head. It's not about who he is, it's what you did. Passengers file out, changed. Margaret wipes tears. Tom pats Leo's seat. The influencer's videos viral. Hashtags like #respect for all trending. Outside, Leo heads to a community center speech saying, I flew to feel human but got judgment. Choose respect who is phantom always. The crowd's in tears, clapping. Karen is suspended, quits, and volunteers at a shelter, writing Leo, I'm sorry. Your silence taught me. He reads it, moves on. Years later, Leo's quote, choose respect always, is on walls, shirts, hearts. Karen's teaching kids to see people, not clothes. That flight's a legend, a lesson in dignity. Ever had a moment where respect changed everything? Share in the comments. Hit subscribe for more stories that move you.